Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss Unit 2 Spatial Data Model under the topic of raster data compression, vector data structure. The course outcome of this topic is develop data model using GIS. The program outcome of this course, program outcome 1, 3, 5, 6 and then 9. The program specific outcome is 1. So the outcome of this topic, develop data model using GIS. So the raster data compression techniques. Run length encoding, quad trees. So the run length encoding, standard run length encoding. In standard run length encoding, the values of the attributes, the number of cells in the run and the row numbered are recorded. Value point encoding. In value point encoding, the cells are assigned position numbers starting in the upper left corner, proceedings from left to right and top to bottom. The position number for the end of each run is stored in the point column. The value for each cell in the run is in the value of column. A way of encoding raster data that reduce storage requirements by creating linear group of identical pixel rather than storing the values of each pixel individually, or a data compression techniques which encodes a digital data stream in terms of the number of successive digital data elements of the same value rather than repeating every data values. The run length encoding, so we can mention that 3 in 4 times. So 3, 1, 2, 3. So 3 times 4, then 1 times 3, then 2 times 2. Likewise, we can separate. So run length encoding is extremely useful for data sets with a large areas of homogeneous data. For example, a raster that contains a large water bodies will have a high number of the same value. Run length encoding looks at each line and folds it according the number of similar values. For example, in the first line above, there are 3 4s and 1 3s and 2. This is then rewritten in the shortened to the right. Such a method would have little usefulness on a small raster, but larger raster whose rows and often hundreds of cells long can be reduced by a great deal. So quartz tree data model. Quad tree, a way of encoding raster data that attempt to reduce storage requirements by avoiding subdividing homogeneous areas rather than storing values for every pixel, or a data structure that subdivides any given space into 4 quadrants and continues to subdivide each quadrant in a similar way until they are uniform or the basic resolution of the data is reached. It is mostly used to compress raster data. Quad tree model. So compact raster representation by using a variable size grid cell. Large cells are used to encode large homogeneous areas. A finer resolution is used for areas of higher spatial variability. Root point where all other branches expanded. Leaf a point from which there is no further branching. The quad tree structures. So the quadrant numbers. So this is a space saving method that divides a grid into 4 quadrants, saving a reference to the quadrant of the grid only if it contains data. This is done repeatedly at smaller and smaller resolutions until only single pixel are left. Each attribute is a list of quadrants to a particular areas. So the assessment of the session, different raster data compression. These are the reference model. Thank you.